Well, I'm Dylan, I'm 23 years old. Um, chose Crider's Institute of Welding Technology because it was close to home. It was a great opportunity. Um, they were well, you know, they were new, they were known, and the price you couldn't really beat for as much as you get, as much as you learn. Well, it was a great opportunity for the price. I originally heard about Crider's Institute when my local weld shop that I always go get my supplies at. I was telling him I was interested in checking out NWI in Tulsa, and he was the one that originally sent me a business card and gave one to me because me and Stan shop from the same place, and so he handed me one of his business cards, and it all started there. I mean, I gave him a call. But the first time I gave him a call, I was actually out in Wichita, Kansas, doing a job, and told him that I was interested in checking out welding school. And I stopped. He set up a date. I stopped by, took a tour, and I mean that was my official start to the welding career. About a month and a half after I started school, Stan understood that I had jobs, that I had bills to pay, and I wanted to keep my truck for the job, so I he got me into a welding job for DC Tech in Kansas City. So about a month and a half after I started school, I picked up TIG well enough that I was able to do stainless fabrication at uh, food grade stainless shop in Kansas City. Well, it's been a long journey, but now I'm heading to Pipeliners Local 798. Um, and pretty much what that is it's a pipeliners company that travels. They're the best of the best at what they do. And the reason where I originally learned that I wanted to do that, I haven't had any family that's been a welder. I've had friends that have told me about it, and how it was a good opportunity and how they enjoyed it. And um, I blanked. Dang it, I blanked. So like I said, the 798, the last 3 or 4 months of welding school that I was there, all I did was practice downhill 12-inch branches, branches and 12-inch butts. And once I learned that I had a skill set for doing that, I really wanted to maximize and make the best out of it. And so Pipeliners Union at 798, that was the only way to go. They're the biggest pipeline company worldwide, and if you want to learn from the best of the best, you want to be with the best of the best. I mean, that's where you go. The 798 was a long journey. It was about a 5 to 6 month process, um, to put a time on it. Um, but the first time I put my application in, I was 7,000 members deep, and I was looking at pretty long odds, a year and a half, 2 years before I even got a phone call. What made the difference was putting a face in with the application, letting them know that you had the drive, you had what it took, and you had the motivation to learn. And once they seen that, when I set up a meeting with them to talk, I mean that made the world a difference. And now I got my shot. Words of encouragement. First off, Crider's Institute got me where I am today. I couldn't thank Stan and Donna enough, and so they really play a big role in where I'm heading to with the 798. They helped me, they taught me, they guided me, and now I'm on a good path. Um, some main encouragement is when you before jumping into the biggest name school that people always brag about, check out your options because you learn a lot. You learn a lot, and Crider's is a growing school. I mean, they've had great schedules, and they seem to be staying busy. And like I said, it's a really great opportunity. Um, don't be scared to try new things. I never welded before. I mean, I had a little in high school, but when it, uh, after that, it was heavy equipment operation. I was like doing dirt work for a while, but once I once I kind of got tired of that, I took the opportunity for welding, and I wouldn't change a thing now. So trying new things is a big thing. Be confident in yourself, and times will seem like it's rough at times, and trying to pass weld tests, you'll get nervous at times, but the main thing is to just be confident in yourself. Everything that you practice in school, everything that you spend, hours a day on trying to learn, and if it's putting TIG roots in or taking a pipe all the piece of pipe all the way out. I mean, or even if it's downhill or uphill 70-18, you um, always be confident in yourself and always try to do the best that you can do. If you try the best and you give it your all, you'll come out all right in the end. Um, other than that, it's set high goals, and I never settled. There was you know I never settled until I got where my main goal was. I knew I wanted a pipeline. I had tried for when I was in school. Miller Pipeline was a big name, and they stopped by and they said, man, you've been welding pipe for you know 6 months, and your looks like this. When you get done, give us a call. We'd love to have you. And there'll be times that you go to call them people and they won't return your phone calls. They'll say they'll find you work, but they won't. But don't give up when people do that, because there's a lot of companies. There's a lot of good companies that welding companies. There's a lot of bad ones. Um, there's if you run into a bad one, don't consider it. Maybe this isn't my thing, because somebody out there, keep up with it, and everything will be fine. Just keep trying, and you'll succeed. When I went into the 798, I went as a helper because I wanted to learn everything. There's a lot more than just a burning rod. There's characteristics you have to consider for pipe, what the pipe's going to use for, what the pipe's going to run, what's going to run through the pipe. There's so many different things that you have to learn. It's not just stabbing a rod and burning your pass and capping it off. I mean, it's a lot more. But I went in with I spent the money and I went in with half of a rigged out truck in a way. I still got to put my welder on it, but that we're working 610s up there, and that one day that you have off, that's part of the my motto of not giving up. Never being satisfied is a big one. I'm never satisfied. I never settle. I'm always trying to better. Your caps will never be pretty enough. Your roots will never be good enough. It's all about staying consistent and trying to better yourself with every bar that you burn. And due to that, that one day that you have off a week, the 798, they open up a yard for you, so that way you can sit there and you can practice. I'll be a helper, so I don't practice that much during the week. But that one day that I have off, I can spend 3 or 4 hours in their pipe yard, and I can sit there and I can burn rods while I'm there. And you know I'll be able to learn and be able to keep up with my welding. That way, when the time is right and I get my welder on my rig, I'll be able to test out as a welder and be even that much further. You know, Stan and Donna played a big role of where I'm at today. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Crider's Institute, and I wouldn't be here if Stan wasn't critiquing me or telling me I'm doing it wrong, or from Donna trying to outweld me and do little weld competitions while we were in school. It was always that one thing that pushed you that much further. And yeah, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them.